creatives, as artists and DJs, etc., etc. Um, please welcome my sister here, poet, actor, and influential woman, and also my sister. Yeah, Lebo Mashile. Ke kgopela le ba dumedise.
Dumela, thank you so much for having me on. I'm very excited to be the very first one. Askis for another colleague. Thank you. Thank you for the honor of opening this platform, Linda. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to talking to you.
No, Lena, thanks, for making time. There are some issues that we obviously have to touch based on as artists and creators, and I couldn't think of anyone, to start this besides yourself.
Thank you. I'm honored. Yes. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. So the COVID-19 has affected us as artists, and with me personally, it's been 5 months now, without being active.
Wow.
Yes, we generate most of our income from live shows.
Yeah, very.
So how has that impacted you as an artist, as a creative?
I've had to change the way that I earn an income. I've had to rely on doing a lot of voiceovers. I can only perform online now, which is not the same as performing for a live audience, even if the opportunity is there to connect with people, even to get paid, but it's not the same as performing with a live audience. I mean, my lifestyle has completely changed. I was used to traveling. I was used to, at any given point, there's like suitcases open in my room because I'm ready to just get up and pack and travel and go. That's been my life for 2 decades, So even just being in one place is, it's new, it's different. And also seeing how, hey man, our sector was hit badly, People were hit very, very, very badly. I know many people who have not earned an income at all in the last going for 6 months now. And you ask yourself, how is it possible in a country with so many skilled, creative, professional people who have spent decades earning a living doing what they do, for there to not be support systems for those people when a crisis happens? Entrepreneurs go through. Oh, we got cut. Askisi.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Poor connection, but now we're back on now.
Okay. Hi.
I'll be back.
Hi. Sorry about that.
What can we do?
Yeah, no.
Such things now. It's a part of life, You can't even get angry at people. You can't say anything. Like, we're all dependent on this internet. Otlare.
Okay, hopefully it works now. Yeah, you're back.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
I don't
funny
know.
enough. Funny enough, we had a problem with the Wi-Fi. We had to disconnect the Wi-Fi, reconnect it directly, cut data, but it's still giving us problems. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You, if I'm not mistaken, you studied law and international relations at VET. But why now the arts over what you've studied?
I fell in love with the arts. I mean, I was at tertiary in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was that time of just a youth culture revolution in the country, and the entertainment industry. I wouldn't even call it the entertain. It was the underground part of the entertainment industry in Joburg at that time was so exciting. You know, it was like DJs and drum and bass and kwaito and hip hop and poetry and live art, live music, jazz, bo bassline, bo kippies, you know.
I
So
still remember baseline, yes.
yeah. So I fell in love with poetry at that time, and once I discovered it, there was no turning back.
I would imagine. So in a recent article on the dated the 8th of May, Daily Maverick, you touched on the issue of the impact of COVID on artists, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. You also said in that article, I quote, her gloves are off when she takes the fight, corporates and even NGOs who exploit the cover of COVID-19 crisis to undercut artists.
Yeah.
And she has no problem calling out the government for its feeble and failed plan of action for the arts as economic fallout of lockdown hits hard. What
Hey,
did you mean by that?
hey. Um, I mean, government. I was just looking, rechecking a piece that I had posted that the Department of Art and Culture had issued a few weeks ago, where they said that they've given out 61 million in relief to artists, but that money has only gone to something like 3,500 artists nationally in a sector that has more than a million people, professionals, creatives working in our sector. So I think COVID really exposed the fact that we are not protected. Our labor is not protected. We're not protected from illness or from calamity. There are very few support mechanisms in place for the artists. And this is not something new. We knew this, right? We knew this. And it's like it's come to define the nature of our sector. So, for example, it's okay for us to be sitting waiting sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 months to get paid, you know, by a client who you've done work for, you know, they've eaten your labor, they've enjoyed your labor, they danced, they went home, they woke up 3 months ago, you know, where now you're still waiting to get paid, you know. It's normal for us to sit in situations like that that actually don't really make sense, you know. And it's not just I know it's not just us. Like entrepreneurs are going through the same thing, you know. All freelancers are going through the same thing. but it hits hard with the arts because it's like our labor is not even really acknowledged as labor, you know? When you talk about professional sectors in this country um, that need to be recognized, millions of artists are sitting at home right now, feeling worthless, not earning an income. And, you know, we are the people who put out messages. We're the people who talk. We're the people who communicate. You know, we impact how so many millions of people feel on a daily basis through what we do. Um, so, I mean, I believe that artists are sitting at home right now and are writing and are creating, are making music, are making work that speaks to what is happening right now. And when that work comes out, yo, government, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. They're not going to be able to run away from it.
Okay, so Lebo, as artists, do you think we are playing our role, you know, in getting the message to the government? Is there anything that we can do, Rona, as artists, you know? Because personally, I would say as much as we are expecting the government, you know, to do something for us, you know, we also have to play our part. I think we should also develop other ways, you know, in which we can try and survive for this period, you know.
Sure.
But for me, 2020 is all about surviving now, you know. I know it's not going to be normal anymore, you know, maybe 2021 or 2022, somewhere there. But while we're still going through such, is there anything that we can do, Rona, as creatives, as artists, you know, to survive?
Well, I mean, look at what you're doing. You know, you're using your social media platform to have conversations. You know, I mean, this is very different to things to how we know you as a DJ, as somebody who makes music, you know, and shares music with people. So I think all of us have been forced to stretch, you know, almost in the first week of lockdown. As soon as lockdown happened, people started doing things online. People started sharing their work. People started performing online. People started showing their rehearsals online. You know, I think all of that is going to grow, is going to develop. We cannot afford to sit still. People have had to figure out how to make their things that were once like their side hustles, you know, the main hustle, so that you can be able to survive, as you say, you know. And eventually, we don't know when we're coming out of this. And even if we come out of this, we don't know if the world is going to go back to what it was, you know. But now I trust us, because naturally artists we are adaptable, we're resilient. You know, we're people, we are people who know how to make something out of nothing. Re phela ka tumelo rona di artist, you know. Ha re tsebe hore ho tlo tla eng ka hosane, but we wake up every day and we do what we have to do, and we do it for years, you know. And re hlokomela malapa a rona, re hodisa bana ba rona ka yona tjhelete e. You know, the very same money e ba inyatsang that they think hore, oh, these people, you know, what are they doing? You know, what are you doing with your life as an artist? This money raises families. It takes care of people. When they took out 1 million artists in this country, they took out 1 million breadwinners, you know, 1 million people who are helping people at home to survive. So I have faith in us, because I know that we are people who know how to make, we know how to make magic happen. That's what we do for a living, you know. We know how to make people feel. We know how to deal with changing circumstances. That's what it means to be a creative, you know. So I think if we can trust that, we can challenge ourselves and find a way out of it. Né? I also think that we need to organize. I think now more than, you know, we really need to organize. Like, we need to start getting the broader public in South Africa to understand the importance of the arts, you know, not just as like consumers, but to understand how the arts help your whole entire well-being as a person, you know, why you need the arts to be able to develop, to think, you know, to expand, to grow, you know, to enhance your own creativity, no matter what you do, you know. And I think because most of our people in our country are not exposed as much as they should be to the arts, it's very difficult for many people to understand the significance of the arts. You know, people are exposed to celebrity, they're exposed to things that they see on TV, which is great, you know, because that's how also we survive. Fantastic. You know, if you're earning a living, wonderful. As a creative, fantastic. Do your thing. Now, I'm not hating. I'm just saying that it's like, that's the only interaction that people have on a daily basis with creativity. There are sculptors, there are painters, there are dancers, there are people who make theater, there are, you know, people who make costumes. There's all kinds of art that is happening that South Africans are making and sharing around the world that South Africans, our own people, don't even know about. You know, that's very painful. That's extremely painful, to make something and go and take it to people out there and be applauded, and know how your own people cannot see this at home because, you know, there's not the financial backing to help, you know, for this piece to tour or to take it, you know, to those far remote corners where it needs to go, where it can actually help people. There's no, you know what I mean? Those things are very hurting. And I think unless we kind of come together as a creative community, we cannot force, you know, for such things to happen.
Lebo, there's something important that you mentioned. You say we have to be organized.
Yeah.
As artists, you know, as creative, do you think we organized in a way that we can work as a unity? You know, we can speak in one voice. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the minute we achieve that, the minute we become united and speak with one voice, that is when our voices are going to be much louder, you know. So do you think we are united enough? Personally, I don't think so. You know, I think we're working more as individuals, you know, and if we can get united, you know, and speak, you know, in one voice, that is when we're going to be heard. Do we think we are united?
No.
And what can we do, you know, to achieve such, you know, as creatives, you know, as artists and et cetera, et cetera?
I think every group in society that has been marginalized or oppressed could only take their cause forward when they came together and started to talk about the challenges that they are facing together and start to insist on changing the space collectively, you know. That's what happened with, you know, liberation movements. That's what happened with the feminist movement. That's what it's going to take for artists also to do. I think there's a reason. I also think that we mustn't beat ourselves up too hard, because by nature, this industry makes you very individualistic. It sets up this competitive like mindset, you know, Yahore, like if you are being booked, you know, then you are the one who's being booked, right? You know, they can't choose between 5 of you. It must be you all the time who comes out. You know what I mean? At the expense of all others. Meanwhile, these guys are all paying all of you badly. They'll give you 5 cents more than this one, but they know that they are making the most money. Do you understand? And they create this false competition in our minds, you know? And then we wonder, we wake up, why is this very famous person who made this beautiful contribution to the industry, why are they dead, and why are they poor, and why are we collecting money, and why aren't they making money? You know, it's like we are in it's like a pattern, you know. It's systemic. It's systemic. It's the nature of the beast, you know. So when it's like that, when you're having to sit and wait forever to get payments from clients, and you're having to hustle all the time just to be able to survive, you don't have time to think about organizing with other artists, mobilizing with other artists, putting together unions. And they're very much aware of that, you know. Ideally, what we would need is like some kind of a body, you know, like an artists union that artists actually start and that artists have faith in, you know. And that must be the body that then starts to lobby for changes in the way that we are treated. You know, everything from, you know, this sexual harassment that we're hearing about now on sets that we know has been going on for such a long time, to, you know, establishing minimum wages for artists. People cannot get away anymore with paying people for exposure. Pandemic or no pandemic, you know, you must be earning for what you are doing. If you're waking up and you're working, it's labor, you deserve to be paid, you know. So such things, I mean, I think we've been conditioned to see each other as competition, because it serves producers, it serves production houses, it serves promoters, you know, it serves the people who pay us, you know, for us to want their approval because they pay us, you know, and to see each other as competition so that we don't work together.
I think the other thing that we should also look at is how does one break it into the industry? You know,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
you know, the processes that we go through, you know, that's what really happens. That's what really makes one, you know, not to open doors for other people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If I was born in Soweto and ke hustler, selling the cassettes, you know,
Sure.
and sometimes I would and all those things. Do you understand? You know,
You went through
and
those
then
things, yeah.
do you understand? And now, in a way, that thing understand, and now we expect everyone, you know, to go through whatever you went through. Do you understand? You know, here I am now. I am an ex-DJ. You know, I've made it to the top. This is what I went through. You know, understand that. But then now, here comes, you know, an up-and-coming DJ. You know, he's so talented. You know, he also wants to make it into the industry. Do you understand?
Sure.
But now, because of, you know, what I went through, you know, do you understand?
Yeah.
So I think that is the mindset that we need to get rid of, you know, and I don't even think that the industry itself is making things easier for us, you know, as creatives, you know, as artists.
I think that thing is very much a South African thing, you know, or maybe it's something that people do when they have been oppressed and they haven't dealt with that. You know, you don't, it's like, we're not hatelletswe. So how about because so they have to go through what you went through in order to get to be where you are, because that's the way that you know. Instead of saying that my experience, let it be something that teaches me, and let it not be something that other people go through because it was bad in the first place. You know, if no child, do you know what I mean? But I think sometimes, because we have been through so much trauma as a nation, and we haven't dealt with it, it shows up in the way that we treat people, particularly people who threaten us. We're easily threatened, you know, and in a perfect, I mean, how could I be? It's like, imagine, here you are, you've been doing what you do for decades and decades and decades, you know? You don't need anyone to tell you how you've inspired so many younger DJs. You know it. Do you know what I mean? You don't need for somebody to tell you that. Like, you've made your contribution. The kid who's coming to you is coming to you because you've inspired him, you know? And I think also we must be more clear and have a very clear intention when it comes to mentorship. Because mentorship, I think, for me, I have been mentored by so many people who never even met me, you know? People whose journeys I looked at and I said, oh my God, this person, I love what they do. I love their art. I want to study, you know, how they work. I want to watch everything they've been in. I want to read their books. I want to learn more, you know? For me, when I meet somebody with that kind of energy, I find it inspiring. It gives me a lot of energy to interact with someone like that. But then you get a lot of people who are like, no, Mina, I just want to be there. Yeah, I want to be famous. I want to be, I want that energy I find very, very oh, sorry. That energy I find very frustrating because it's like it's like people get excited by the thing that is almost like the sachet, or not even the main thing. You're excited by the wrapping paper, but you don't understand the gift. You don't understand the contents inside the box. You're excited by what's on the exterior, the fame, the whatever, the glamour, whatever it is that you think you're seeing. You don't even see what the work is. You don't see what the job is. You don't see what the real life looks like. And for me, that's sad. I think Horona, as Black people, we have to get used to the idea that purpose through what we've been through. Oh, sorry. Okay, you're back. I think Horona, as Black people, and maybe oppressed people in general, it includes women as well. We need to get used to the idea that the things that I went through, if they have meaning for me,
yes,
then it means other people shouldn't have to go through them. Other people shouldn't have to. Why should you have to go through being sexually harassed in the entertainment industry to earn your stripes? Do you know what I mean? Why should you have to go through having people steal your labor, exposure, to earn your stripes? Why? It was wrong in the first place when I went through it. Why should you have to go through it?
It's so sad that and especially with women, and this being a Women's Month, I'm glad you raised it, and you're not the first person to talk to me about such things, the horrible experience, of ladies trying to make it to the top. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There isn't any industry that is meant for a certain group of people. It's the
true.
industry is for everyone.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and even the entertainment industry, especially with us as DJs and artists, I'm so excited that a lot of ladies made it to to the DJing thing.
Yes,
when it was initially meant, it was thought this thing was only meant for men. Do you understand?
Yes. Now
It's
up.
yes, it's so hurtful, and very painful, for what you guys go through, and Rona S. Ban, now we need to protect you guys. We also need to support you. We understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So so I think we need a shift their mindset. We understand that, to overcome whatever we are going through now. Not only as women and men, but as a nation. We understand.
Yes.
Whatever we are going through now is just not on. We just need to do something. COVID-19 might have brought some problems to us, but somewhere it also made us realize, some of the qualities that we have within ourselves. Do you understand? And you look at like me, so now this is for the first time that I have a live Instagram. Do you understand?
Brilliant.
Yes, pretty pressure COVID. Yes. Yes. We I think maybe you've noticed there's a hashtag that we're pushing. It's called Together We Can Stand. Together We Can Stand. It's a project that I'm working on with my team, including Boza. So it's a lot of people were asking me, what is the project all about? And I think some will also want to know, what is the project all about? Together We Can Stand.
Yes.
So Together We Can Stand. It's actually a song that I'm working on. The whole idea is to collaborate with various artists, Komzansi. So the whole purpose is to send, a message of hope, a message of togetherness, a message of unity, you understand, to South Africans, and even beyond the borders of South Africa, beyond the borders of Africa, that whatever problems that we are going through currently, you know, should we work together, should we work as a unit, we can always overcome this. You understand? So that is the message that we want to send, you know, to the nation. Or hey, South Africa didn't start having problems when we had COVID-19 or the lockdown. You understand, Lebo? We've been having problems, you
For
know,
a long
long
time.
before the
Yeah.
COVID-19. The COVID-19 just made things worse. You understand?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yes, so the song is all about this. You know, how about we unite? You know, as artists. You know, and sing with one voice. You know, send a message of hope. You know, to the nation. You know, to South Africans, even beyond borders. For hey, yes, we are going through a lot. You know, people's houses are being, you know, and train
Repossessed.
repossessed, lidikoloi, you know, and this in a way has an effect on our mental health. We
Give me
understand?
sure. People
Yeah.
had jobs. People had jobs in January, February, March. They don't have those jobs now. People who were working are now unemployed. People who were doing one job are now doing another. I mean, it's like the world turned upside down.
Yes. So the song is all about that, you know. We just thought, imagine, you know, uniting, you know, as artists, you know, sending that message, you know, that message of hope, you know, um, just to try, you know, and work throughout this thing. You understand? So the project, it's all about that, you know. Together we can stand, hoping, you know, the artists, you know, various artists will be able to join us in this project.
Fantastic. It sounds like a great idea. It sounds like a
Thank you so
wonderful
much.
idea.
Yes,
We are at our best when we are creating. Whether if things are good or things are bad, like our job is to create.
yes, is
Yeah.
to create. And
Yeah.
imagine, the good thing is you have people who idolize, you know, Lebu, just like myself. If she stands there in front of everyone and she sends that message of hope, you know, that thing will make a difference in someone else's life. You
Mm.
understand? Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you feel down, but you'll get that one call that will inspire you and you'll be able to get through the day. You
Mm.
understand? Yes. So yeah, one last thing here, Lebum. All things equal.
Yes.
Yes. Are you able to tell us a bit about that?
Yes, I am. I'm happy to tell you about it. All
Yes.
Things Equal is a four-part series, a talk show that was specially created for Women's Month. It's sponsored by Hyundai Creta and it's on ETV and ENCA. The first episodes go out on Thursday on both channels. And I mean, I in my heart, I hope that this concept goes on because it's so nice, you know. I'm enjoying talking to women who are really it's about women who are challenging norms in their fields, you know, women who are breaking
Yeah.
barriers, women who are doing things differently, women who have something to say, basari banaling content, you know. So
Really content. I like that.
you know, speaking to them about what are the challenges in your field when you as a woman. And I mean, you hear someone like Tandin Tuli talk about how women in jazz music get erased as musicians. So there's many women who actually play music in jazz, but and then every time a Tandintuli comes out, it's like, instrument, but they've been there. You know what I mean? We've been seeing them as singers. No one talks about how they play instruments. And that's like erasing women from the history of jazz, you know, which is a big deal. It's huge. And I mean, speaking to a journalist, Karen Mon, about what it's like, just, you know, she worked on the Oscar Pistorius case. She also did, they even turned her into a meme, this famous interview she did with Batabile Dlamini, speaking about the corruption within the ANC. She's like, she's one of those journalists who's always on the front line, you know? And she was talking about how just like dealing with men online, you know, if a guy is angry with you about your angle for a story, the first thing he's going to say is something sexual about you, or say, oh, when you deserve to be raped, or you deserve to be beaten up, you know? So I love it because it's very real. And it's different. It's different to the kinds of conversations that I've seen happening on television. I'm excited about it.
No, we're also excited about it. We are, we're going to be very supportive.
Thank you.
Lebo. Yes. So one last thing, what can you say to all the artists that are going through the most now? You know, that message of encouragement.
Your voice matters. Your work matters. Your life matters. Right now, staying alive is a revolutionary act. Staying healthy is a revolutionary act. Waking up in the morning and keeping yourself going for your own sake, for the sake of your family, is an act of resistance. It's a revolutionary act, you know. We need you. We need your voice. We need your art. If you can find the space, the time to create, please create. It's going to heal you. It's going to heal the people who are going to be on the receiving end of this world. You know, there's no artist who doesn't have a purpose. An artist who is sitting at home is an artist who has been given time and space to be able to create something from the universe. You know, don't measure your value by how this country, this government, whatever, this administration treats you. Your value is in the fact that there have been artists from the beginning of time. Humanity needs artists at all times, no matter what the government looks like or what technology looks like. We are always going to be there. We're necessary. So, you know, don't forget that you have a purpose bigger than what is happening right now.
Thank you so much, Lebo. Imagine the world without creatives. Imagine the world without artists. Can you imagine how boring it would be? Thank you so much, Lebo. Thank you for sharing that knowledge with us. And thanks to everyone who joined us. Together we can stand. Thanks, Ison.
Mr. G, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
This has been wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.